Yeah, it's disappointing. Obviously, two great crowds here, and yeah, we kind of laid a donut. It's disappointing to play that way in front of our fans. We were on a roll for a good 3-4 weeks, and but at the same token, it's humbling. It's good to face adversity, and now it's up to us to respond and hold each other accountable.
What's the mindset on the bench here? You guys lose both Graves and Wheeler late in the game. Two big pieces you guys don't have going into overtime.
Yeah, obviously they're leaders. They're huge pieces. They play a lot of minutes. But we've had this next man up mentality. So it's it's just an opportunity for someone else to step up and try and make a great play for us.
Matt, you've had the opportunity to play with McManus all season long. What has made him so special to be able to be in the ECHL also?
Yeah, he's a special player, right? You give him room. He's very confident out there. He can make some plays that a lot of guys wouldn't think to make. It's a lot of fun. I haven't played on a line with him much, but it's a lot of fun to watch him out there. He's a very special player.
For you guys moving forward, what needs to change with this group? It's been a very hot streak and now a little bit of a cold streak. What needs to change?
Yeah, I don't think anything needs to change. We played really well for a long time. It's a wake-up call for us, and we've set the bar. We know that if we play the way Homer and Cloutier wants us to play to our systems, then we're gonna have a good outcome more often than not. So I think it's just take a step back, look in the mirror, and get back to how we were playing.
You look at this team compared to where it was last year. Right now, sitting in second place in the standings. What's the mindset right now in that locker room? Just knowing that this team has really changed around since last year.
Yeah, we're hungry. There's a handful of teams behind us that like if you have another bad weekend, they can be right there, and we want to string together more wins and separate ourselves from that pact, and then hopefully not get ahead of ourselves, but catch Wheeling.
It seems like since the last couple of weeks, we're bringing all the guys back together. Lindbergh back, Orgel back. How nice it's been seeing some familiar faces.
Yeah, it's great. It's it's guys that are familiar with the area, with the arena, with the fans. Obviously new systems, but it's great to have guys that have been here before, and then kind of like I touched on, it's next man up mentality. We've had guys step into the lineup and play great roles, so it's good for us.
You talk about next man up. Talk about the impact. Tag and Alex Campbell both come into the lineup. How big of an impact do they play for you guys?
Yeah, of course. They're both great players. I think I can't speak for myself, but it's probably a bit hard coming down from the American League and jumping right in. New systems, again, new players. But I know both of them are fantastic players, and they're contributing for sure.
What's the mindset going into next week against Clock?
Yeah, we got a whole week of practice, so I think it's take a day off, reset, and get right back to working hard, and then have a good weekend.
Yeah, it was nice to get on the board. Obviously, it was a good goal for us to get 1 point at the end of the game there. Obviously, we wanted to come away with the win, but yeah, it's good to be back. I love it here. The guys are great, and I just need to be better for the team. But we have a good squad, and I believe in us, and we're going to come back stronger next week.
Tough weekend for you guys. How big was it for you guys to at least come away with that 1 point in tonight's game into overtime?
Yeah, if that's going to be our worst hockey and we get a point out of it, then it's a good sign. I think we have way more to give, and it's not ideal losing both games, but getting away with 1 point is huge for the momentum carrying into next week.
Tag, how tough is it for you? I know spend some time up in Utica, then you come down here and you're playing with a different group. How tough is it for you to adjust and finally settle back in with these guys?
Yeah, obviously you want to be up in Utica. That's the goal, obviously, but it's tough when you're just practicing up there for a while and not playing games, and then coming down, no practice down here, getting right into it. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but we're professionals for a reason, so we just have to adjust, and I need to be better in those first 2 games, but obviously we have a week of practice here, and I'll be better this upcoming week.
Yourself and Alex Campbell both played a big difference. Played a difference in this weekend, and tonight especially. What's kind of the mindset for you guys when you guys come down here?
Yeah, obviously just help out the team. I think Cloutier and Homer put a good squad together, and now it's just our job to help the team move forward and just be the best we can. We got a good core down here, and now we just got to help take charge and take over this league.
Got some new cast members here since the last time you were here. What was it like with that and seeing some new faces and the makeup of the program?
Yeah, it's good. All the boys are gelling. It's good to see Diamond Hands on our team. It obviously brings a presence. He's a good dude, first of all, and he brings a presence that no other guy has in this league, so it's fun to have that. And Lindy from last year, too, I was here with him for a while. It's Orgel, too, played here a few years ago. It's good to have all these guys come in.
Alex, a 2-point night for you, yourself and Tag both get on the board. How nice is it just to be back and get on the board right away?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good. Scoring the first goal of the game, too, get the boys going after a tough loss yesterday was good, but, I wish we were able to carry that on the rest of the game a little more.
How important was it for you guys to kind of get that first goal to kind of take the taste of it at the last night out of your mouth?
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, the way we ended last game, too, wasn't, it kind of got a little chaotic there, so it was good to start off strong, but like I said, we got to find a way to keep that momentum going and carry through at the game.
Obviously you would have wanted 2 points tonight, but you get one of that late goal by Bertuzzi. How big was that for you guys to at least salvage something out of the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, just getting an opportunity like that on the power play at the end, Tag taking charge and scoring a big goal for us was massive. And, obviously, we'd like those 2 points, but squeaking one out of there was good enough, I guess.
Alex, you personally, I know, spending some time up in Utica. What challenges does that bring for you as a player to then have to come back down here and get to gel with some of these newer guys?
Yeah, it's just, it's an adjustment. Obviously, different player core, different coaching staff. Systems are somewhat similar, but no, it's hockey at the end of the day, so it's just fun to be back with the boys.
What's the mindset for you guys heading into next week against Trois-Rivières?
Yeah, I mean, now we've got, I think it's 5 or 6 days off. I think it's 5 days off leading up to the game. So it'll be a good little reset for us, get back to practicing hard, get into the battles and, get back to the game we know we can play. And obviously, we went on a nice little win streak before this. And, it's hard to win this league. It's not easy. So it'll be good for us to just get back on track.
How nice has it been for you guys to have a nice little 5-6 game homestand here to just be able to play at home?
It's massive. I mean, obviously the crowd is unbelievable, and we thrive off, their energy and how loud it is in here. So, we love playing at home in front of these fans, and obviously we wish we could play here every game.
Affiliation weekend. You've been up in Utica, you've been here. Just talk about the importance of the affiliation here with Utica, Adirondack, and New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, affiliations are massive, obviously. Whether you're called up or sent down, it's all about development and, helping each team win. So it's, it's good for player development, just growing throughout the system. It's nice that they keep the system somewhat similar, so it makes that transition a little easier.
These last 2 games have been a struggle. What have you kind of noticed with the guys these last 2?
We just got away from the way we've been playing for the last 5 weeks, and we got obviously last night was one to throw away, but tonight there was no excuse, right? I mean, we did some things that were good, and then we did some things where, we just got away from it. They like to play an open game, and we fell into their trap both nights instead of playing the way we play, and you got to give them credit. They found a way to come here and get 4 points.
Coach, talk about the power play a little bit. I know the last couple in that game probably weren't exactly how you wanted it, not too many shots on net. What have you kind of seen from those guys that isn't working?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was hot for a couple of weeks, and now it's cold this weekend. So, we'll get back to work on Monday, and obviously we got to get pucks to the net. And we didn't do that. We were supposed to attack from the goal line in. They played 3 high and 1 low, and we didn't do it. So we didn't accomplish it. But sometimes it happens. Your power play is hot. Sometimes your PK is hot. Sometimes they're both cold. And right now, this weekend, our power play wasn't there. I mean, we were running almost at 21%, which we'll take all year if we can run at that. And tonight, it wasn't there.
How much did it hurt losing both Graves and Wheeler late in the game there?
Well, I guess it hurts, right? We only have 6 defensemen, so we play with 3 or whatever it was at the end. It's tough, and they know that. I mean, the call on Wheels. I mean, I was talking to the referee. I mean, he just said, "Do your job." I mean, you got to do you can't just throw someone out like that. And I like Lily. I've known Lily since the North American Hockey League days. He reffed when I was coaching in Corpus, so I've known him a long time. And we said it. We can't talk to Lily's. If you leave him alone, he does his job, and don't need to yell at him. And then we're undisciplined there at the end, and yeah, we lose 2 of our key guys to finish the game. But you know what? They've logged a lot of minutes for us, and they've done a great job all year. And we're not going to be perfect every night.
Alex, Campbell, and Tag Bertuzzi, 2 guys that came down from Utica, both made a big impact tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Bert was sitting up there. It's tough when you get sent down too. Everyone thinks guys are just coming down, and especially if they've been sitting in the stands for 2 weeks or whatever, how many games they didn't play. When Soupy went up, he didn't even play a game. He just sat there for a week in practice, and then, you lose your, playing games and practicing is totally different. Like the game shape and just practicing doesn't help you. So you can see Bert had more legs tonight. It's better, and usually it takes a couple of games to get these guys going again when they come down. And Bert scored that big goal for us tonight.
Two solid performances from Brennan. Had a solid performance last week. Another solid performance this week. Nice to see the game coming along.
Yeah, I mean, Brenny's been solid all year. I think there was 2 games, and both games where he had a tough time were in Reading. And for some reason, that building has given him a hard time both games he's been there. Every other game, he's given us a chance to win. And, he's been solid. I mean, both goalies have been solid, so you can't even question our goaltending.
So you said you got away from your game this weekend. So what are you specifically working on this coming week to get ready for next Friday?
Well, we got to get, we're going to play a heavy team next week that plays similar style as us in Trois-Rivières. So, we got to get back at putting pucks behind our D and playing fast. And we didn't do that. We turned the puck over at the blue line where we're just kind of playing shinny the way they play. They go 4 guys, they all jump into play, and, and they count on their goaltender to bail them out. And, this week we'll work. We got to work on our D zone again. We got to go over everything this week. We got a long week, so we got to be ready for next weekend. We got 3 big games.
Coach McManus has been a key spot for you guys. I know he had another point tonight, ECHL All-Star. Just what has he meant to the program so far this year?
Manny's, he's full of energy. He comes to the rink. He's always happy. He's just brings that. He's a character, and on the ice, if you give him a few chances out there, he's going to bury. When we got him, he was a guy that could score goals. We knew that. We did when he was brought here through that trade last year with Fort Wayne. So we know he can score. So he's been doing his job, and you can count on him.
How big is it for you guys to at least walk away with at least 1 point this weekend?
Yeah, we needed a point. I mean, last night when you look at the scores, right, it would have been nice to get 2 and move away from the group again. I don't know how it went tonight, but hopefully that point will help us stay where we are. And like I said, get ready this week and, start over. You just got to start over. You got to start fresh. And this group's a good hockey group. Like we know there's going to be ups and downs all season, and right now we just hit a bump this weekend. We just got to get out of it next week.
Olsen, Ibrahim, any chance of seeing either of them next weekend?
Yeah, Olsen's finally ready, so we'll have a good week of practice here, and Ole should be back next week. Eves is just, we're going to take our time with Eves. Any concussion, head injuries like that, you got to make sure he's okay, and that's the most important thing. That's Eves is going to be all right.
You talked about it earlier in the year, the tough decisions were going to have to be made eventually. Guys coming back off injury. We saw it with Poislar being put on waivers. It's got to be tough with guys coming back and looking at the roster right now and not knowing what to do. Yeah,
it's not that we don't know what to do. It's just we feel we have a good team. If you want to be part of it, we could be up there at the end of the year battling for something with our group. And if you're willing to accept your role and play the minutes you get, and be a good teammate, then we want you in this group. And then if there's any reason why you don't want to be here, then we'll wish everyone all the best if you don't want to be here.
Are we going to see Harper anytime soon?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Be nice. I mean, we're still talking with him, so we hope we know he's busy with his other stuff, but I'm sure we'll see him at some point.
How much of an addition have Lindbergh and Orgel been since you brought him in?
You know what? They've been good. I mean, they came from the SB. Obviously, they played some games in the East Coast, or especially Ryan's got experience. But those guys have done a good job coming in and helping us out, right? I mean, we have 6 defensemen, so for them to come and step and they played well. I mean, last night maybe they got exposed a little bit, but that happens, and they were solid on our winning streak, right? They were a big part of it too. So, like I said, there's ups and downs during the season, and we talked to them, and they know what they got to do, and we talked about it. Now we just got to get back on track. You can win 6 in a row, but you can also lose 5 pretty quick too in this league, right? Like everyone thought we're playing Norfolk last place team. Well, they're not a last place team. They're getting bodies back from the Moose, and it makes a huge difference. It's a totally different team than when we beat them at home 6-3. So that's the thing with this league. Like, you don't know who you're going to face next Friday in Trois. They could easily have 2-3 guys from Laval come back, and then you got a different team you're facing. So there's no easy games in our division. Our division's really tight, but when you have a chance to move away, you got to take advantage of that.